This podcast is a production of Unfiltered Studios. If you would like to know more about joining Unfiltered Studios, please visit our website at unfpod.com for more information.
The Thursday has come.
Come with me if you don't want paint on your clothes.
A campus divided.
You with Star Burns? Not if I can be with you.
Where evil walks, a hero will rise.
Last man standing gets the prize.
Prize. Community, coming next Thursday on NBC.
I'm going home. I know, Shirley, I know.
No, seriously, I'm going home. Can you help me out?
Here back for another episode. Totally, absolutely not recorded back to back. Matt Pritchett. Pritchett is back.
Thank God. That would be a long time for some people. Yeah.
It's been a
this
very,
is my
very
favorite
long
subject.
time. We were talking about all kinds of just unofficial trilogies and cinematic universes, and we're like, and just in time for Christmas, you know, we do all these Die Hard, Lethal Weapon, even Rambo is set at Christmas, the first one, and we're like, even Rocky IV set at Christmas. So we were just like, all these unofficial Christmas movies, you know, we might as well talk about stuff that also makes fun of Rambo and Die Hard, and what better way than talk about the Community Paintball trilogy of episodes that are...
And it is a trilogy, even though we're talking about 4 episodes. It's a trilogy.
Right. It's like,
yeah.
A Fistful of Paintballs is the 2-part finale, and then you got... And again, it's a 2-parter. You need both for it to exist as one. So then you have For a Few Paintballs More, and then you have Modern Warfare. So I loved it. I think the episodes got me in the mood, because even without the spaghetti Western references, they are totally going to town making fun of Westerns, much like they're making fun of... Much like the episodes where they were making fun of my Dinner with Andre and other stuff. It's like, see, these guys, they're fearless. Like,
they love television.
The millennials
movies.
don't get it, but they're going to check out the movie after this because it's too smart for them. But fortunately, it's so witty. Even the trolls.
Oh yeah, lots of people went and watched My Dinner with Andre after an episode of Community.
Well, people shit. I don't watch that shit, but yeah, it's just like
Dan sold that episode as a riff on Pulp Fiction.
Right.
But it's really about My Dinner with Andre.
So he said the right words to get what he really wanted. And
yes, he did.
I think that's just it. Like, even the trolls don't even bother. They're like, yeah, it's too smart for me. I got nothing. You'd be damned to find anyone who's just like, yeah, you know, that sucked. And I think there was even a freaking, you know, Leroy Jenkins reference at the very end when they're all rushing out. And I mean, there were so many episodes where, I mean, when they were doing a pillow fight and they, that was the first time we hear Keith David, but he's playing the narrator, and they were making fun of Ken Burns type documentaries. Yeah,
they do a straight up homage to every baseball Civil War documentary you've ever seen.
Yes, a 100% episode. There was a Law and Order episode. There was all kinds of shit that they did, and I think it helped that I was always, before I watched it all, like I was always seeing parts or just standalone episodes, and I was always just like, where did they go for inspiration? They're just naturally nutty. They've just seen a lot. Do
you want to know the inspiration for Modern Warfare? Their first Paintball?
Anytime.
That their inspiration was Dan was sitting there in the writer's room and said, "What's the one subject you can't cover in a television show?" And the answer was school shootings. You can't do anything related to school shootings. He goes, okay, but how could we? And then they moved it to paintball, and then they moved it down the line, and then they started including all the references to the movies.
There you go. What you can't
That's how you
show,
got there.
You can reference and what would otherwise be morbid in the wrong person. Like,
well, you can't do it because the instant you have that episode, there's going to be a school shooting, and that episode will never air.
bingo. Like,
So they
he
did
braced for
Paintball
impact,
and broke it down that way.
I looked
Right.
at it kind of like I looked at the zombie episode, which is narrated by George Takei. It's just,
Good God,
they're
yes.
singing, they're dancing to ABBA. Like, they kind of, season one just introduced it to, they're going to have pop culture references, but it's not in the way you think it would be, because we've seen the best and worst ways to have people make random pop culture homages. Like, they would just have a random thing in there, and the characters would always be remarking on it, saying, "This is stupid." You know, it was always just out
Yeah.
there. And I mean, we've come to know freaking just Chang and how he's basically a terrorist. So it's like, okay, perfect. How about make him be the super villain in all these Paintball episodes?
We're going to dress him up as Napoleon,
Yeah,
and then we're going to dress him up like Patton, and we're going to give him the hat, and we're going to
And
give
every
him a
Dark
giant
Universe,
throne.
he's always the bad guy. You can't not have him be the bad guy.
Yeah. Let's bring back the guitar, and everything will be better.
Guitar.
And I
Oh.
did not say guitar like a hillbilly.
And the way him, Jeff and Britta are just like making out and then like going into action hero mode, like the way they just played that was just always just. I don't
Yeah,
know how
this
to
is a-
describe it. I really don't.
This is a
Like,
22-minute Justin Lin movie. The Modern Warfare is a 22-minute Justin Lin
It
movie.
is, but like
That's what it is. That's
there's even
the-
references in the last one, Modern Warfare. They're referencing stuff like the Warriors and Battle Royal, even Riddick.
yes. There's
Terminator.
the guy on the roller skates is a stuntman, and Aaron. I can't remember Aaron's last name. Aaron,
jeez.
I keep wanting to say Paul, but he ends up playing. He's actually one of the stuntmen for Black Panther later.
Oh wow!
So it's like that was
Everyone
that was
on Community
way
got their
before the
feature.
Russos were doing anything. He ended up playing the guy who played.
I'm sure they
Black
were all
Panther.
paying them back. They're like, yeah, we don't have to use Starburns or Pierce, but we're going to use all these cast and crew every time anywhere.
Oh yeah, now, and the paintball was when you see like the fire in the building, they had to put those out the moment they weren't shooting because it was creating so many fumes. So they
Oh,
had a
jeez.
really hard time shooting that thing.
Oh, I'm glad
But
it paid off because it never
It is-
felt
Yeah,
like. I think I loved how they were joking. There's just all kinds of jokes, like everything from whether or not they actually care about winning this stupid game to, again,
Talking to
doing
the
an
unc-
action hero style, like jumping. in
talking
slow
to the
motion.
hunger, I beg, come out and play. Yeah, straight
Yeah,
from Warriors.
yes. I love
uh,
that scene.
Doing the cheery renditions of songs to shoot the Glee Club out of the trees.
That's what I love that too. They gave all the rival opponents in every episode just outrageous names, and you're like, why'd they call him that? And of course, in the next moment, like it's the right
There's a-
kind of
yeah.
shock value. And people think when shock value that means you got to be violent or have language. It's like no, it's just a wacky visual gag. Like that's what they're dressed up as, or you'll see why they're
when
named
when Chess Club tries to lure them out of their hiding
Chess
spot, they send a pawn for crying out loud. I mean,
Right.
that's the kind of joke they're doing. There's layers on every
all
one
kinds of there's dad jokes, then there's lame puns that they do so well, and then then you get all the pop culture references where they're making fun of stupid action movie tropes like this sounds like a trap, let's do and the way they would stage each of those was just so nutty.
But they did it because they embraced it. I mean, they
Yes,
said, I'm going to
that's it.
love this. I'm going to go deep. It's not going to be superficial. It's how they get away with doing Dungeons and
bandaging their
Dragons.
good sides, that's
Exactly.
funny. I'm like, see, you can't write that. You can, but no one normal can write that.
No. And it just works because that's what somebody would say that. Somebody would do this. Somebody would work through this. This is believable enough.
The fact that the Pistol Patty is the mascot of the Cowboy Creamery. It's just like that's some damn sponsor.
Your knees. Yeah, there's
It probably is a sponsor's named something crazy
Oh,
like
that would work out great. No, and he's there. That whole bit, the actor that did it did the whole thing on the first day where he's having to wear the whole thing because he didn't want somebody else doing it. So he's standing around dressed as an ice cream cone for a week. That sounds exhausting. And then they did the whole Star Wars bit.
Yes,
Perfect.
Star Wars bit was good. Good work by Jordan Black, who
Yes, Jordan Black
is part of the show. For those who don't know, he plays Dean Spreck. But like when he was on this, I'm like, so I knew I was gonna forget somebody. But whenever I see him in something, I'm like, this fella. I mean, there's a reason he wrote and then started being a performer. He's a lot. I mean, Dino, who played Starburns, same deal. And I do think all the bit part characters have as much to do. I never thought there was any useless characters on the show. I never thought
they always gave some of the best lines and jokes to the person who said the fewest words, and they did that a lot. So they would let people who are
the last person you would expect to speak just spoke.
Yeah, it's the same way they gave Charlie Kuntz the opportunity to be Neil and to have such an emotional thing in the Dungeons and Dragons episode.
Yes,
they give these great little moments to people you'll never see that often.
I know about
so perfect.
Dungeons and Dragons. I have failed to ever properly play a game. It's not my wheelhouse, and they did a brilliant job. You're like, see, they explained it better than anyone who you played with could explain it.
Yeah. And now it's much more popular. I mean, the game shot up in popularity after the episode. It was really well done.
Absolutely. So I did see, to your point, apparently the season 2 finale for a few paintballs more. Apparently that is what got the Russos the Marvel gig.
Because what's his name? Kevin Feige's watching it.
He saw it,
and brings them in, and then they get the Captain America because of watch it, and they learn how to shoot action from watching Justin Lin film Modern Warfare because they're executive producers, so they could be there the whole time.
Yes,
so they learned how to be action movie directors from Justin Lin in Modern Warfare.
Yep.
Showed it off in Fistful of Paintballs. Ended up with Winter Soldier.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's a nice run.
I love. And don't you love how Ovid notes how there's not much difference between being a Western and being in a Star Wars opera.
it just
we've gone from a Western motif.
Star Wars has always been a Western with the knights with knights with laser swords. Yeah, but that's it. Otherwise, it's a Western. It's a spaghetti Western.
Absolutely.
Did you ever notice in Fistful of Paintballs that the cards that they show are the votes that they made to keep Pierce or not? So everybody's got a black card, but the one Ace of Hearts, that's Annie, those are the votes that they made. So when you watch them push the cards on the table, go back and watch the beginning and see all the cards associated with each one of the main cast.
Was that an inside joke for Dan Harmon? Should I fire him or not?
I asked Andrew Guest, where did that come from? And he's like, I can't remember. He goes, it's great. I love it. But that was, they wrote that one in a really big hurry because they were way behind. That gang wrote that episode.
For those who don't know, he's a writer on 30 Rock.
They have no clue who did that bit.
That it might have been one of the prop people. I kind of got
it. Russos. I mean, they did a lot of stuff like that. They would add things when they filmed it that made it work.
I mean, if he was being a pill on set, I'm sure someone had to work that in, and that was just to get them for the day. Only you will get it. No one else gets what that's really for. Did you notice how? I think I did notice it the first time, but I didn't know if it was just me overthinking it. But how Troy was dressed as Sheriff Bart from Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, he's Bart. He's dressed like Cleavon Little's character for Blazing Saddles. It was so perfect. I was so happy to see it. I wish they did a joke with it, but it's no notes. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, that was for the deeper, harder crowd. It's who's seen more movies. And I think that's just it. Much like Psych, there was something for everybody. Even it was funny what they're referencing, even if you've never seen what they were talking about. They just knew. Yeah,
I want to say the nun outfit is 2 meals for Sister Sarah. I think that was what Shirley's character was supposed to be doing.
Oh, I'll see.
So yeah,
that's a joke within a joke because the female lead in that movie,
she wasn't a nun.
Shirley
Yeah.
So different Shirley.
It's definitely a Shirley.
Oh man, see, and that's just it. I think it's interesting seeing it in a pre-2012 context because Westerns, they were
Not
pretty
then,
sparse.
no.
Yeah.
They're pretty
And then-
sparse, and then they do a whole episode that is just pitch perfect. It's as good. It's the third highest rated episode of Community on IMDb. Last time I looked,
Yeah,
a
wow.
fistful of paintballs. And only things ahead of it are, Remedial, obviously, and Modern Warfare. That's the only two that are ranked higher.
Wow.
And they're like the top 200 sitcom episodes. They're all three in the top 200
The
sitcom
fans have
episodes.
spoken,
Last
guys.
time I looked. Yeah. They know the good stuff.
That's great. And I think this is it. Like, I can enjoy it on its own 2 feet. Like, it's just
Yeah.
there's such fast-paced episodes, and just because of the art put into it, it is one of those, like, if I was going to watch any making of for any episode, I want it to be of the paintball ones. Like, it just, how did they do that comedic physical stunt? How did they do all these other just like minor things, or just like, how did you quote verbatim this one thing? How did you work in that other thing and keep the momentum of the scene going? How did you stage that?
How'd you pull out? Yeah, the great thing about the commentary tracks, and this is the reason why everybody should own DVDs, is that you get bits. You get bits and pieces of that where the Russos are in the room saying, well, we rotoscoped this, or this is all digital effects, and this came up as a part of this. So they talk about how they develop how the scene looks. And they're playing with ideas on the show. That's the other things. The Russos are playing with ideas as directors, while the writers are playing with ideas as writers, and they're all kind of working in sync with each other. So
yes,
the Russos are switching to handhelds for certain things, and they're like when they decided to do the mockumentary stuff, where they're basically doing a Modern Family episode, and they're like, oh, it's incredibly easy because you just look at the camera and tell them what you want to say, and then you go and film it. So they just play with so many different ideas. They just enjoy it. They seem to enjoy it.
Oh man, and I'm thankful these exist, because like I see so many other, when I see people talking about all kinds of other, just themed episodes, it seems like this one just pays off because people were actually
the Goldbergs do a lot of themed episodes, but they're already set in the 80s, so it's constantly already feels like a theme, and so it's not there's nothing like Communities episode for Law and Order, because it is
Michael
a Law and Order
Ironside's
episode of Community. They got
in that.
God, he's so funny.
You will not do that, and making
It's got
fun
to have
of
a code.
And at the end, it feels like they are totally. I mean, they're doing.
That's how every one of those ended.
Yes, but
they're sitting in an office and drinking.
I love it even more because, like, they're, aside from doing the style and being on NBC and everything, I also like how they just make kind of like the Psych episode that's set in the courtroom. They're making fun of all kinds of other legal thrillers, like Few Good Men. You're just like,
well, they're playing with the idea, and they're just going for it.
Oh man. Oh, such good stuff.
Now, you didn't mention Modern Espionage, but I think that's the third part of when I think of the trilogy of the Paintball episodes.
Oh, true.
The season 6.
So yeah, that's technically it's a
last
quadrilogy. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I think of Fistful and A Few Paintballs More as one, because you really should watch them together. I mean, Fistful is clearly
so then the Modern Warfare, and then this. So yeah,
Modern Espionage. Yeah. Because Modern Espionage is spending the whole time where Jeff as the character is going, I'm really tired of this. I'm just, my heart's not in this anymore.
I love how they're making fun of the hired gun who's seen better days, and then Britta, who's being asked to do the most technical thing, which she is not mentally equipped, to do. She's not.
Never. She's only good at things she hates.
Right. Right. And
she can make a heck of a wedding.
Annie gets to take out a gun. I love how I think, much like the Russos were playing tribute to all their favorite action movies, there's definitely a lot of that there in that episode.
Well, it's Rob Schrab directs this one, but they did connect to the Russos. If you notice in that elevator scene with the dean, where all the people are running trying to shoot him with paint, some of those stuntmen in that elevator are stuntmen that are in the elevator of Winter Soldier.
I would bet.
So
Eddie
the
J.
big guy
Fernandez
in the
and all those
middle
guys.
that grabs him and spins him around,
Oh, that guy.
he is, he's the first one you spot. He's the easiest one because he's also, like 6'6".
He's
But
bald and yeah.
he has a bald guy in the front with a beard, and there's another guy. But there's all of those stuntmen worked on Winter Soldier, and basically they said, "Hey, can we borrow some of your stunt guys who already know how to do this?" And they brought them over and did the shot. So yeah, Modern Espionage, I think, is the end of the trilogy. I think Modern Warfare is the first one, Espionage is the end, and Fistful and Few Paintballs more kind of together, because I don't count Advanced Introduction to Finality, the end of season 4, where they have paintball in it. I don't count that one. It's not a paintball episode. It's just
no, fair enough. I mean,
to it.
and I think that's the other fun thing. Like, I've done this with Star Trek. I would see people do their favorite themed episodes. It's like, yeah, no, I don't count that as part of the unofficial.
Well, they wrote that episode in about a week. They were in a lot of trouble because there was a whole script that the cast said, no, we're not going to do it. And so they had to write a new finale for season 4 in about a week. And that's what they came up with. So no, I've never counted that one as a paintball episode. I'm glad it happened because we needed the 13 episodes or they would have been in violation of some contract. But outside of that, I'm good.
Right. Oh, wow. That opened up a whole bunch of people.
Oh, yeah.
Questions.
Yeah, Chibi just got fired. And the rest of the cast like, no, we're not doing a dance number. We're done. Pick something else. Season 4 was wild. Wild. No, these are all, I mean, I love all these. Modern Warfare really makes it where Community can't be ignored by critics. I mean, that's where the critics jump on. And Fistful is the end of arguably one of the best seasons of television ever. Season 2 Community is like top tier, and I think Modern Espionage is a nice way of coming back to it without overdoing it. And they got to do a lot of good jokes about spy movies, and they got a great Batman joke, and they've got the Winter Soldier bit in the elevator. It's a lot of fun as an episode. You do get Keith David saying "pow pow" when he's pulling the trigger on the paint gun. It's so funny because you're not supposed to say that when you're pulling the trigger on television. When you're filming stuff, you're not supposed to mouth the sound of the gun going off.
Oh, that's it. But
they're intentionally having him do it because of his voice.
Yes.
Pow pow.
And it had way more to it compared to.
Oh yeah.
What's the one action parody episode that they have Buzz on? It's fun, but it's not as funny because some of the delivery is kind of meh at the very end.
Buzz. Why am I blanking?
Jonathan Banks's.
Well, they had a second Dungeons and Dragons episode.
That might have been the one I was thinking.
G.I. Joe episode.
It's like everything gets flooded or something like that. It's all
and there's a app development where he spends the whole episode saying it's my birthday. That's app development season 5, which is just a wild. That's their last big thematic episode other than Modern Espionage. No, Jonathan Banks is. Man, he's a gruff man.
You're right.
Oh yeah, one of the people, a friend of mine, always said that Jonathan Banks basically aids into a role that you can't ignore him anymore. Like he's now his natural disinterest, his natural frustration is just perfect for every role that he's on now. So if it's Breaking Bad or if it's Better Call Saul, doesn't matter. He's pitch perfect. He's Mike. He does it.
Absolutely.
He's really good.
Well, it's a testament to how writing can evolve.
Yeah. And then they bring him in to be in a comedy, which I always thought was wild. I mean, why would you want to do this? And he did fine. He did good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you don't think Jonathan Banks go, I'm going to do a sitcom. I'm going to have Jonathan Banks at the table. That's not something most people do.
I think that's just it. They took a chance. They got all kinds of people who.
Yeah. Can you think of another comedy he's ever been in?
Yeah.
Ever?
Unless it's a dark comedic moment in Breaking Bad. No.
And I can't think of anything. I can't think of anything where
the first time I took him serious, because for the last time I would see him in movies, but I didn't know if he was a good actor or not because he often had like kind of one-dimensional kind of characters,
Yeah, he's just
playing
mean
thugs.
wherever he is. He's just a mean
Thugs or
person.
lawyers, and I didn't know if he was a good actor or not. And then I see him in all these shows. I'm like, oh, whoa.
Yeah, he's always playing a detective. He's always playing somebody's little, tired of this shit. He's very
Too
much
old
that
for
guy
this
all the
shit.
time.
That's a good point too. Like I see other people who would have wanted to get every A-lister available, and it's like, well, what if you don't? Is it still funny? It's just like,
Yeah.
hey,
And
I mean-
he came in and did his when he did his bits are funny, like the app development thing where he's losing his
look at it
mind
like the
because he
Louise
had to
Guzman
sit through that.
episode. Like
The what?
I think of it like the Louise Guzman episode where they did the statue of him,
perfect.
and then word got around to where the actor could laugh at himself. He's like, yeah, I actually want to come on the show.
It
be
came,
part of the
yeah. They originally wanted to do it with Mark Hamill. Mark Hamill said, "That's not where my career." Dan Harmon said it was the nicest no he ever received as a letter. Where Mark Hamill was like, "I just don't, I can't do that. It's my point in my career." But Luis Guzman was just happy to do it and did it and had
I
a blast.
still got it,
apparently.
baby. Don't do it just yet.
Yeah, Luis Guzman. Good Lord, what a funny, great bit, and that
He is a
statue
funny
doesn't
guy.
exist anymore. I don't know where it happened. It's filmed in the
Yeah.
Paramount lot in something called
Was it filmed
Marathon
mainly
Park.
in LA? Or
Yeah, almost
That's
everything about the
that's where
show
the
is filmed in
Paramount-
LA.
okay, wow.
Yeah, it was season 6 is under where they filmed Parks and Rec. It's literally on the floor below, and some of it's kind of like a basement. Most of the time, it was right beside the Gene Roddenberry building.
Oh, jeez.
I'm trying to think of what was there. There's a picture somewhere where Joel and Allison are pointing at the list of shows that filmed on this place, and they got a piece of tape that says "Community" right up under it. 'Cause they don't have it. There's nothing official yet.
6
but yeah,
seasons and
movie, yeah.
6 seasons and a bunch
I
of-
forgot where it was. I can't remember where that lot was, but the Paramount lots where they did Paradigms of Human Memory, where they're basically running all over Paramount lot and doing various bits. And then so it's like there's a house that's destroyed, and so they stand in front of it, and it's like, this habitat was for humanity. They do that bit, and it's just the back lot of Paramount where they have all these different things. They basically ran all over the place, shot 2-minute bits, and left. They had a lot of fun on that show. They also didn't sleep.
I hope they did, because then
Yeah,
none
they
of it
better.
would have been funny.
No, yeah, they seem to really enjoy it.
Yeah, and to all your earlier points, I just find it even all the more amusing how they actually want to do all the gags on the spot as if it was yesterday, and
Yeah.
most people, they don't like to tell the same joke. It's just like, oh no, I'll do and I think it helps that they've found the best compromise. Instead of just doing conventions or just relying on every gig, they're now kind of to that point where if you're in LA or at another place, check out like you were talking with the Communicon is like now the convention scene is where you want to find them and where you will get the most reward than any other making of feature.
Yeah. And they don't have a bunch of those. They do. So that, some of them
the comedy's
do because
just
they're part
raw,
of the
but in a
bigger
good
stuff.
way. Not
Yeah,
in
but
the-
no, it's
yeah.
they're actively doing things. That's what I like about them collectively.
Yes.
Is they're still making stuff to do.
Productive
They're still doing something new, and they all want to do the movie, which I'm thrilled about. I'm glad I was really happy when Donald said he was excited to do the movie, because he was always going to be the one I thought was going to say, "Yeah, no, I'm done,"
Yeah, well, and that's
because he
it.
could. Yeah.
And I saw other
He's
people doing the
huge.
whole "I won't see it if Chevy's not in it." It's like, dude, come on. It's like
I get that all that. Yeah, there's two things that come up. It's
they
like,
just
why
need
do
to
they pull
film one scene with him talking to the director, and then he doesn't have to actually be in the same scene. Like, it'd be funnier. Okay,
Well, they
so
did it for
here's
season 5. They had him do the little hologram bit for season 5, which nobody was there with him. Nobody. Joel knew about it. The rest of the cast didn't know it even happened until it aired,
Now,
or the
if they
commentary
want-
track when they watched it.
if they want to do a series of movies, I'd be okay
I'd
with
watch that. Yeah,
I mean,
I'd watch it.
making fun of the whole how did he die or something, or just some.
Oh
have
yeah,
there be an evil twin or
go
something.
go true and hard after the Ass Crack Bandit. That'll be a lot of fun.
Ass Crack Bandit. Oh my god.
What a wild. Yeah, its anniversary's tomorrow. Oddly enough, 11 years since it aired.
Oh my god.
Wild to me.
That's what I loved too. It was like the most twisted comedy that I would see people having speculation on. I would see other stuff where. So with the Ass Crack Bandit, was it Annie?
That's the joke in the writers'
No
room.
one
that
really
it was
knows.
Annie.
So that's their briefcase in Pulp Fiction. No one knows.
Yeah. Yeah. In which they had a fake briefcase
It's a
for Pulp
literal
Fiction in the one episode. Yeah.
If you have to ask, we're just gonna prank you. Okay.
Yeah, there was the joke was Dan always said the goal was to write it where it could be anybody, and he goes, it didn't work completely because clearly Jeff can't be it, and so Annie's technically.
But see, that's still a good writer.
One.
Any other writer would just be like, it's flawless, and
we'll just pin it as one person and work back to where we need it. But no, we want to write it where anybody could be it.
Yeah.
Like, that writer is really
some
good.
Jokes
he writes
are funny, but fall apart the minute you think about them too hard.
Yeah, when you get to it. No, and how good is the writer of that episode? Oh, he writes with Chris McKenna, and he's done the last 3 Spider-Man movies. He seems to know what he's doing.
He's like,
his name is Eric Summers. He's really good at writing.
Have fun with it. Eric knew what he was doing.
I'm trying to talk to him. I have yet to get a chance to talk to him.
Oh, jeez.
I'm going to make it work sooner or later.
Do it now.
I've talked to McKenna multiple times. I like McKenna. He's a lot of fun because he always invites Joel because he doesn't want to do it by himself. So and Joel will get on and just talk for an hour.
Nice.
He doesn't care. He'll just go.
I don't care.
But they're great. I mean, that's the best thing about it. They've been really collectively the writers, the writers, directors, actors have been great about staying connected with the fandom and talking to them and encouraging them and appreciating them. And I've been really, this is my hobby, dealing with the fandom and doing the accounts, and it's always fun. It's always
Twitter kind of came out at the right time because it wasn't telling people how to do the show, and at the same time it was one of many shows that became memeable, and then it helped that there was a joke behind the meme. So then
the Twitter would get Community never beats its competition after the pilot. And the pilot's the highest rated episode they ever have. They never beat the competition. But Community on Twitter was always number one because the fans would hashtag it and talk about it the entire episode. So every time it aired, it was the number one thing on Twitter. And all the cast used to have accounts. They all don't now, but they used to all have them and participate and encourage people and just talk to people randomly out of the blue. I mean, it was a lot of fun when the show was on the air, particularly the first 3 seasons.
Oh man,
just being part of that fandom.
Can you imagine seeing live tweets on syndicated episodes?
Yeah, I can't imagine it now. It just doesn't seem to work the same.
No,
it was just a perfect,
lightning in a bottle
moment. Perfect lightning in a bottle.
Absolutely. I think I give it way more credit because if you think you know everything, think again. This is not just something you casually just sit by.
I still learned new stuff. That card thing was about 2 years ago. I still learn new stuff. I have people make comments that this is the only thing they ever say to me online or something, and they mention it, and then boom, there it is. There was a guy I was talking to. He's like, "Oh, I was Dan's assistant, and I quit to go do what I really wanted to do, which was he didn't want to write anymore. He wanted to work in production, putting up, setting up artwork on TV shows and stuff, and set deck. And so he didn't want to write anymore, so he quit. And Dan hired a new guy, and it's his new guy's name is Michael Waldron. And Michael Waldron, if you remember from season 5, there's a picture of the old timey photograph group. There's a guy there who's not in the writer's room, but you don't know who he is. He's Michael Waldron. Michael Waldron wrote the last Doctor Strange movie.
Holy crap.
Yeah. So it's just, and Michael Waldron's, if you hear him say anything about writing, he just did he's doing Heels, which is a wrestling show that was on
Stars. Yep.
On Stars, and now it's on Netflix. And Netflix is going to give another year. Waldron wrote that. Hey, he's the showrunner for that show. And he's doing something, that Chad Powers thing on Hulu with Glenn Powell.
Oh, fun.
And yeah, Michael Waldron was on season 5 as part of just Dan's assistant in season 5, and he did some stuff in season 6, and he worked on Rick and Morty, and now he's doing all this other cool stuff and writing a Star Wars movie. Last I heard, for crying out loud, for Disney. This show spawns so many talented people, and helps so many talented people get seen. I just find this. It's part of the reason the show is infinitely interesting to me.
Really?
It's the big web of the Communities cinematic universe, for lack of a better term. It's not just the Russos, but it is a ton of really talented people doing really cool stuff.
Concur. Yeah. It's unpredictable in the best possible way, as opposed to comedians getting too cute for their own good or running out of steam. It's just bananas. Yeah, it's fun.
And Chevy Chase. Yeah. Everything great, and then Chevy Chase. It's been my personal grievance. It's just he's just so rough on people. So
yep.
But I mean, I watched every movie he did in the 80s. It was hilarious. Even the crazy ones, they were all funny. He was the biggest thing in the world for like a decade. And he was really good at it.
Somebody had to be.
Somebody had to. Well, I mean, he's Fletch. He's perfect in Caddyshack. The vacation movies, even the one in Europe, still funny.
Oh, there's
Christmas Vacation is a perfect every year Christmas movie.
Yes.
I mean, as much grief as I give him, he did a lot of really good stuff.
There's many comedians who they were in the right era at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Before their candle, went out.
Yeah, well, he's the first year of Saturday Night Live, crying out loud. He's
Right.
National Lampoon before that. So yeah, he's right in the mix with the really great comedy that grows up in that time period. And if we're going to do a Mount Rushmore of what matters in 70s and 80s comedy, Chevy has to be on that mountain.
I need you on that wall.
It may be flipping us off, but he's definitely going to be on that mountain.
Roll Tide. Game time. Let's get it. Comedians, man.
So what is your favorite of the paintball episodes?
Oh, man.
Which one you committed to? Like, I can watch this one over and over.
I thought it was the first one for a while. Then I thought about the last one was kind of a good way to top it off, but yeah, even after rewatching, I'm just like, it's a perfect collection. But yeah, the party one was great too, because it was just showing that the show could still do unusual spoofs while furthering their own crazy storyline and parties.
Yes.
They look so amazing with headsets. It's unreal.
I think ultimately, Modern Warfare is always going to be my favorite, because that's Modern Warfare, first one I ever saw. First episode of Community ever saw was Modern Warfare. That was my hook.
That had to be confusing.
I'm gonna love it particular, but Fistful of Paintballs might be a perfect episode of television. It's all by itself, even though it's a 2-parter. All by itself, the whole Western bit, the cards, the story, the beats to it. Yes. Somebody called Black Rider who's not actually writing anything, and it's Josh Holloway from Lost, for crying out loud, who is network TV good looking. I mean, it's a really perfect episode of television. And I do like modern espionage probably more than some people, but it's in this list, it's going to have to be further down those top 2.
Hey, no, awesome. And again, just everything clicked. It was
Oh yeah,
as
perfect.
before they're even doing the action parody shit. Like they are doing all kinds of other stuff where you're just like, I'm gonna have to rewatch this. There's so many stuff.
Oh yeah,
things
they have jokes layered in the jokes, and the people who are doing the set deck are doing jokes, and they're hiding it into the scene. There's what was the Geography of Global Conflict in season 3. I think it's just like the second episode. They've got Martin Starr in it as a and of course he's in Party Down. There's posters on the wall. There's little flyers on the court board that say Party Down. You have to
the
look
other guy.
for it to see it. Yeah,
I saw that Jillian was on some Party Down stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, so there's a nice little reference to Martin Starr stuff while he was just in a movie with Allison. That's the reason he's there for the we need somebody to do this. He goes like, well, I just worked with him so we could bring him over. And that's exactly what they did. They had a bunch of stuff where they just have people they are friends with show up.
Yes. Way better than trying to predict. I don't know if we will or won't get along.
Oh yeah. Just go get somebody like the couple of the women are in the show, or the women that Allison sings with in her little band called the Girls. There's I'm blanking on he's the short. He's not. I shouldn't say short. He's not very tall.
Is he tall enough? I don't know.
Well, he's yeah. Why am I blanking on his name? He's in the he's in the finale.
I don't know.
Everybody knows who when you see him. You're
thinking of Starburns.
No. I'm thinking of he's literally in one episode of Community, but I'm gonna see him in a second.
That guy.
Not that guy again. Not David.
The guy with the gun. Oh man.
Oh, Seth Green. Seth Green shows up in the finale.
Yes.
And the reason he's there is Joel calls him like at 1 a.m. He's like, hey, would you like to come and be in like 10 minutes? And they came in and he does this bit in 10 minutes.
Yes.
So he ends up being in the finale of Community because he's just Joel's friend. And they needed somebody to hurry up and come over so they could finish shooting. And so Seth Green shows up and plays a guy named Scrunch in one of the the variations. So
he's the number one gig that everyone wants to talk to. So.
He's just out of the blue. Seth Green shows up. Well, Seth Green just he's just been like in the Austin Powers movies, weren't like 5 or 6 years ago. Seth Green's been doing regular work and he's
every kind of movie.
Yeah, he's in all kind of stuff. So it was great to see him.
We'll return after these messages.
If you like small town mystery, crazy news, and wild history, then the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast is for you. Each week, Josh Mills and Wayne McCarty bring you the absolute best Florida has to offer. So if you're looking for a show that's safe for the family, but funny enough to help you escape everyday life, then listen to the Florida Men on Florida Man podcast. That's Florida Men, plural, on Florida Man podcast.
Hey, it's Brent Pope, the host of Breakfast with Brent Pope. You've seen me on some of your favorite TV shows saying things like, give it up, Jimmy, you gotta sink this putt to win. On Breakfast with Brent Pope, I sit down with guests from the entertainment world and we do it all over breakfast. Or should I say Brentfast? Every week on Brentfast, you get inside Hollywood info and tips, great breakfast recs and foodie debates. Most of all, you get the most delightful 30 minutes of your week. So dig in, it's Brentfast time. Listen at Brentfast.com, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are found.
No, it's they really did enjoy what they did and brought in everybody they could, and I really one of the best little things is Darcen Solomon was on he's in season 5 and season 6 and he plays the character Dave, and he would constantly have Joel and Gillian would come up to him and say don't worry about how much you hear, just as long as you get to sit on set, you get paid. So, keep showing up and we'll just,
that's cool.
We'll get you in the scenes.
That.
Yeah. They really liked him.
People just don't talk to each other and that's where tension kind of flares.
Like you got your people on a call sheet, and the call sheet is a list of the actors that have to be there that day in order of importance. And contractually, Joel's number 1. Chevy's number 2, Well, he's not there in season 6, obviously, and then Gillian. And so the people on the call sheet, the top list of the call sheet, not every show do they spend any time talking with everybody else on the show.
Yeah.
But apparently this group did. So they talked to Charlie Kuntz, and they talked to Eric Charles Nielsen. They talked to Danielle Kapowitz, who played Vicky, and they talked to David Neer, who played Todd, and they spent time with them and liked them and encouraged them to do things and to keep making the show, partially because they're nice people, but also to make the episodes better, funnier, crazier.
There you go.
Yeah, just like Jim Rash. Remember Jim Rash, when he walks in the room, every time he walks in the room, puts his hand on Joel? That was Joel's idea. That was Joel's idea, to have the dean put his hand on his chest, put his hand on his shoulder, to say something to him. That was Joel's idea. And when, for the first 2 years, Jim Rash is not a episode regular. He's not a regular on the show. He's a reoccurring character. But he gets made a full-time regular cast member in season 3. And it's all because, Jim Rash is obviously incredibly talented, but, they're actively trying to find ways to make them more interesting, make the episode more interesting, make it funnier. Cast and crew. So they're a lovely group of people, and ridiculously talented and pretty.
Yes. That's the other thing too that was kind of funny, is like you would look at all the different people and you're like, they're kind of handsome, or they're kind of sexy for even though they're comedic. So worked for their characters. They looked like everyday people, while also
Dan talked about he's like, I was really protective of Allison to start with, and then he goes like, then she's like in every magazine I pick up, and I'm like, okay, I can let this go. Just of course at the time, she's playing a woman in the 1950s on Mad Men, and she's on Community, and she's playing a nerdy person, and she's worried about being pigeonholed as a very quiet, reserved person.
Yes.
And so does a bunch of pictorials, and he's like, and then he's like, oh yeah, never mind, she can take care of herself.
Well,
and Gillian goes the opposite direction to a large degree. Does a lot of small writing parts, does a lot of little director parts. So
yes,
they direct. Both Allison and Gillian have directed documentaries for Disney.
That's true.
They're just smart, lovely, interesting people, every last one of them.
Instead of just being,
they could just be in front of the camera. They're pretty people.
I think that's people. My problem with some shows I like, is like when you see some of these people and you're like, where did they go after this? It's like, well, this is the only character they had to offer. Like, for instance, like that's kind of the difference between, for me personally, like with The Office, like everybody was already doing all the creative behind the scenes stuff, while with Parks, Amy, Offerman, Rashida, Retta were kind of like and Rob Lowe were kind of like the power players, and the rest were kind of just playing dumb versions of themselves. It's like, well, okay, you need to be thinking about your next gig. Like
they're given 2-dimensional things to do, and they excel at it, but they don't.
For instance, Krasinski
push for more.
Instead of, he was worried he wasn't going to get the Jim role, and then when he got it, then he's talking to the right people, and George Clooney's like, you are going to direct after you're done acting, right? And he's like, I never thought of it. Please tell me more.
I'm definitely going to do this now, yeah.
Let me take your mouth. And it's funny having to look at all these people who just, whether they went into it the right way or not, they didn't get too comfy. And I hate to say it, there's a difference between enjoying life versus letting it hit you in the butt, at the worst possible.
And people get pigeonholed. I mean, can you think of something George Wendt from Cheers could have done after Norm, where you're not thinking Norm the whole time?
You got to be smarter than the casting director.
Or Ratzenberger, who played Cliffy. If they're on the scene, he's Cliffy. If he's in front of a camera, he's Cliffy. You're going to have to play a serial killer to stop me from seeing you as Cliffy. And it needs to be a good movie. It needs to work out, not a Lifetime version of the movie, but a real good movie. That needs to work.
Yeah. If you let these guys take advantage of you, they'll do just that. They'll wreck your career before it started. And
it always, remember, Lucille Ball is always Lucille Ball. I mean, but that was,
Yes.
she became, but for her, that was the point. She didn't want to be somebody who was, she doesn't mind being pigeonholed because if I'm the only version of this pigeonhole there is, then you're always going to have to hire me. So she was thinking about constantly working in that regard. But everybody else, if you're not Lucille Ball, you're going to have to be something unique. Like Betty White's always Betty White.
That's a good
She's
point.
always playing that type of character.
Oh, that
but,
goes back to the TV versus movie actors. And I think that's just it. These guys learned how to act first, and then they started doing the homework on.
Yeah, well, Betty White's the young sex pot when she's in her 20s and 30s on television. So for Mary Tyler Moore show, she's a sex pot, but when she does Golden Girls, she's the ditz.
Yeah, no, that's a good point.
And so she actually she's just constantly funnier than the other people.
Yes,
so she's just talented. Yeah,
look at Angela Lansbury. She often got cast as a villain, but she stood out in a good way.
Yep.
And so people are like, okay, she can sing.
She's Murder
she
She Wrote for like a decade.
Right.
You know, yeah.
And now people are familiar with her voiceovers and her hero roles and her grandmother roles, and they're like,
how many times has she done a voiceover role? And you're like, oh my god, that was Angela Lansbury. And then you go see a movie from the 40s, you're like, oh my god, Angela Lansbury.
Fletcher. What the hell?
Well, oh my goodness. You're not going to write about a murder except what you're doing in that dress. Good Lord, Angela Lansbury. No, I mean, yeah, we forget that there was a time where a character
people like
could
her just to forget.
Evolve. Yeah,
who's the cool kid in school? I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't want to know. Truth be told, they're the cool kid. They're not good.
I'm good. Never going to be me.
Good man. Good.
No, I really enjoy these people now that they're out doing other things, and I really do appreciate for the most part
what happened
that
to
none
that
of them
guy?
run away from it.
Yeah. What happened to that guy?
Yeah, like Allison, she's basically off Twitter, but she does follow with Sarah because she had a movie come out a couple years ago, and the trailer got leaked early. She's like, "Hey, can you take that down?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." And she reached out and talked to us some after that, and that was. I got to tell you, I was kind of geeky, and she's great.
Well, and I'm sure
a lot of cool
they've
stuff.
Studied enough. Given the amount of material they were making fun of, I'm sure they know the catch-22 of what non-interaction makes people unintentionally look like they're being a dick or a bitch, and they're like, I'm not going to be that guy. And by the way, I'm proud of it, and I not only enjoy this, but I also know that it's my brand, and I'm going to lean into it instead of just failure to acknowledge.
Yeah, no, they're really, they're savvy about it. Joel and Ken are just constantly out there. Like I think Donald Glover's the smartest social media person I've ever seen because he keeps deleting everything that he does. So and I don't think of it smart because he deletes it. I think he's smart because he's basically putting a time limit on anything he says.
Yeah.
So what happens is you have to set up a notice every time he posts something, so you get notified because you don't know if it's not going to be gone in an hour.
Correct.
And he would drop music videos, or he would say, back when he did the thing about Spider-Man in 2010, he would drop something out there, and then people just go wild, and then he'd get rid of it, and it'd be gone, and it would be word of mouth telling you, it's like, oh, he did this whole thing about Spider-Man. Like, yeah, I didn't see it. Well, you didn't see it because you weren't online that one day, and now you have to be told about it. So people basically became his marketing. Yeah. His fans became his marketing wing.
Yep.
And he did that for well over a decade. His Twitter account would have no tweets, and then he'd tweet, and it would have 100,000 likes in an hour, and the next day it was gone.
That's right. That's very good.
I have never seen anybody master social media like Donald Glover. I wish I could do that. I would like to get rid of a bunch of stuff and start all over all the time, and like people care about it. But no, I'm not Donald Glover, so that's not going to matter. I'm not, is he halfway to an EGOT? Yeah, he's halfway to an EGOT.
Sure, why
not? He's got a Grammy, he's got an Emmy, he needs an Oscar and a Tony, and he'll be one of 30 people with an EGOT. The guy that makes the music with him is 3/4 of the way. Ludwig Göransson did all the music for Community.
Oh,
he's got an Oscar. I think for Black Panther, he did the Black Panther soundtrack.
That makes sense.
I think got another one for
This is America's pen.
Yeah, what was the Nolan movie? Oppenheimer. He did Oppenheimer's music.
Well, there you go. He's got
a Emmy for not Community.
His
for,
music was
Atlanta.
so perfect because it was the right kind of everyday kind of stuff when he was doing parodies of stuff or
He
other
was doing
genre.
mixtapes to start with for years.
There you go. So
then
he
it
already
takes
had
off.
the ear. He knew when to lean into something without being too cute. He was like, okay, this is not a throwaway MTV skit. This is an actual comedy bit I must handle with care.
And Donald can rap, and Donald can sing, and he can write music, and he's just he's just ridiculously talented. I'm glad he doesn't like work at a bank because he'd have to replace all of us. I work at a bank. I mean, I just think he's just that kind of talented person. He's just capable of whatever he sets his mind to, and I find him infinitely fascinating because of it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Pretty neat.
Well, I am a fountain of useless trivia related for the show. So is there anything that you think of that you want me to talk about? I probably could tell you something about it. I really do know way too much about one television show.
I had to ask somebody.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. The most obscure thing is usually the bit about the cards for Fistful of Paintballs. You're going to go back and go, oh my God, it'll roll your eyes back in your head when you notice it. But no, there's so many great things about the show, particularly in the first 3 seasons, which I think they just get on this really good roll. But you listen to them talk about it. They are like Remedial took them 3 weeks to shoot. Episodes are supposed to take 5 days. You have a table read the Monday before, and then the next week you film it Monday afternoon, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's how you're supposed to shoot a TV show. And they're filming Remedial for 3 weeks. They're spraying blood on Shirley for 3 weeks, trying to make the splatter look right. They're obsessed with it. She's like, just don't. They get to the point like, you're just going to have to redo my makeup. Just spray me again. Till you figure out what you want to do. I'll just stand here drenched in this fake blood until you figure out how you want the pattern to look, and then we'll do the makeup again. And then you can do it.
We'll get here. Yeah.
It's just they were thinking about it at a level most people don't think about TV shows.
No,
they're making movies. They're making 22-minute movies, and they made 113 of them.
Oh,
and
they did it with love.
Yes, they did. And it's there's this really great shirt when they have their 100th episode party, which is during the Yahoo year. They make T-shirts for Dan and Chris who weren't there in season 4, and it say 87 because they're not there for 13 episodes. So their shirts say 87. Everybody else has 100. And I always thought that was a nice little dig at them. Yeah, it was a nice touch.
Lovely. For sure, man. I applaud anybody who's willing to just give effort in every area possible. There's nothing worse when you just feel like they're not really.
Oh yeah, they never. Now, granted, they're taking shots of bourbon to stay awake to write certain episodes. So there'll be like 4 writers sitting around a couch at 3 a.m.
It's allowed.
Drinking alcohol to stay awake. You know how much you've had already to get there. That's a trip. But that's and Dan had open liquor bottles in the writers' room for first couple of seasons. Yeah. So yeah, there is a ton of messiness about it. Yeah. Oh God. Terribly unhealthy work environment for the writers' room. But they produce really great television.
Hopefully they evolved after all.
I can't complain. Yeah, they got better at it. And Dan's gotten to be better at writers' room where there's less alcohol and more, good behavior.
Good.
Yeah. Last I checked.
We spoke too soon.
Man, I don't know what Crapopolis is doing, but they may have an open bar. But no, I know a bunch of them that write.
I would eat with Chang. I would
writers are
eat
there.
with Britta. I would eat with Troy and Ovid. It'd be fine.
Oh yeah, yeah. How hard is it to write for Donald Glover? Just they actually wrote in one scene, Donald says something funny, and that's the end of the scene. To go to the next scene. They didn't have an idea for the joke. They said Donald will say something funny. They did that in season 2. That's how quickly they figured out how good he was. I don't know what to do. Donald said something funny, and then that was it. They moved on to the next scene. I mean, they had that geography of global conflict. You remember the part of it is basically the whole thing breaks down when somebody farts, and everybody's that the reason that happens is the writer is giving a presentation to Dan about the story, and the writer goes. And then something happens. It's not it's not a like everybody. We're going to spend the rest of the show talking about it. But somebody, whatever. We don't know what happens, but it's really quick. Somebody farts, and then they go and have the scene, and then Dan goes, "I think that has to be it. I think it has to be a fart," and that's how it became part of the story. The guy telling the story is just saying it as a filler, and then Dan goes, "No, I think that has to be in there." And so they write in a fart.
Oh, man.
I mean, it's just a perfect joke.
I think that's the other thing. When they did sex and scatological humor, I always felt like it was they kept me in suspense. It's like, I don't know where this is going to go. I don't know if it's going to be on screen or off screen. It doesn't matter. It's just very clever either way.
No, they were, like there's a reference in the 8th episode where Joel says, that's the cooperative calligraphy where they can't find the pen, and so they're going to spend the entire episode sitting in the one room, and where Joel picks up the phone and he says, well, he goes like, Gwynnifer, tell your disappointment to suck it. I'm doing a bottle episode, and throws down his phone. In the writer's room, Gwynnifer was actually a code name for Britta. So that was when because all of season 2 until the Paradox of Human Memory, they're having secret sex.
Yes.
So his actual plan is with Britta. So when he's on the phone, he's actually just talking to Britta, and that's why he can just throw his phone down and be done with it. And I think that's just one of those nice little. They're thinking about a show. The writers are thinking about things and details that they're never were going to tell you,
instead of find out the hard way and be like, anything they deleted, it was either because
they ran out of time.
It went on too long and it killed it. It was less of the finding it in the room. Don't get me wrong. There's always going to be something like that, but there was less of the let's waste time and money to see if it works. It's like, well, no, say it. And I think it helped that they had worked on all kinds of programs, Andy Richter's show as well as Sarah Silverman's show, so they had all kinds of prep,
And they had so many talented people in the room who understood how episodes get made. So they've got Scrub executives, Neil Goldman and Neil Gaiman,
yeah. There was I think I know who else you're thinking of.
Donovan, one of my his last name's Donovan. Garrett Donovan.
All right.
And Garrett, the character Garrett's named after Garrett Donovan, and Neil is named after Neil Goldman. And Neil Goldman's doing Shrinking now. So, part of this big pantheon of shows that I with very thin threads connect back to Community.
Oh, that's I mean, we were mentioning Scrubs. I mean, there's a lot of people who worked on the Bill Lawrence camp. I mean, it's the same thing with the crime shows. You see plenty of people who worked on.
If you look at the writers that Community had, there are a ton of them. Mythic Quest.
Yes,
It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. That's Megan Gansel by itself. I'm trying to think of all those different shows. Yeah, they're connected. Every sitcom's connected in a way. This Annie Mebane writes for Shrinking. I think she did some Bad Monkey, another Bill Lawrence show that's on Apple Plus. I mean, just it's just ridiculous how many really talented people work for the show and have gone on just to get to do bigger and better shows and improve on their own career. So I'm just real happy they still are willing to talk to, a crazy old fan on the internet. That's my favorite part.
Absolutely.
I remember everything about your career of it, and for some reason this still isn't awkward for you. Yeah, it's great. I'm really thankful for it.
And kudos that they could go there,
Yeah, the best part has been talking to the writers more than anything else. I mean, I love the cast, don't get me wrong, but the writers actually remember things. They have notes still. It's like Andy Barbaro had his notes from a script of the different variations they were going to do, so he could read to us jokes that didn't make it. I mean, that was, so he's talking about all the different variations of ideas that didn't work, and just having fun with it. And telling us, and just opening up and sharing that stuff. I mean, it's been, I've been blessed in that category. I've had a lot of fun with it, but it's because they give and they're so willing to talk about it, and it's so apparently impactful in their lives. So I'll take it.
They soaked it up as opposed to slowly have it be a blistering headache,
Yeah.
Where you're like, thanks, but I don't want to talk about it.
You could totally run away from this. I would completely understand, like, oh, this show that, never was in the top 50 except for the pilot and was a critical darling, but yet could never win an Emmy. There's one Emmy. The entire time. It's for individual.
Kudos to them for finally getting it, though, because so many places don't get it. They'll finally repent after enough people demand it on streaming and
they have to
DVD.
push into good television and NBC embraced it and tried.
Like they wanted something, and they didn't want to rely on just what's going to be the next, Frasier or Seinfeld or.
Let's do the 10th version of The Office. Let's do it some other location. Yeah.
I mean, much like this new Suits that's coming out, I'm very iffy about that new Office. I'm like, okay, tread lightly. I don't.
Yeah. You don't ruin my memory.
Well, more importantly, have the character be its own wacky person. I don't want a carbon copy of Michael Scott or Leslie Knope or any of the other bosses from hell. I want your own crazy hell that you are crafted.
You have to, the problem is they don't tell you, they're stuck in old IP.
Look at with any show.
A new story.
When you replace a character, NCIS got this at first, where they were like, okay, these are not the new Ziva or Tony. These are just new, wacky, quirky people in the office who happen to be federal agents, It's just, and it's like, you gotta not only warm up the character, but you have to make sure, hey, they're not here because someone needs to take their place,
Yeah, let's do it in Miami. Let's do it in Las Vegas. Let's do it in New York.
Oh yeah, with all this.
Let's do cyber.
Oh my God.
But they ended up watering down the talent who understood how to make the show, and that's big part of the problem.
That's often what it is. They will get people who haven't done something like that in a while, so they're just. It doesn't help that they'll get people who are kind of out of touch. They're just trying to get it done versus make it be great.
Yeah,
and so
go
ahead.
And the casts are trying. I mean, you put them on camera; they really want the show to work. They all do.
I love it when I see interviews with directors who note about how they went the full 9 yards. They actually saw a good chunk of the seasons or episodes and asked the right questions instead of get to set. And even if they do a good job or do a great pilot, people are like, by the way, get them the fuck out of here. They don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Or, you have a short episode show, like what was The Good Place.
Yeah,
Good Place is season 1's pitch perfect, and they build on it and they do something different. They're having a conversation about ethics,
keep you in suspense.
It was really smart.
It helped that it was comfort food, so even the most snarky person could settle down and be
you could pick a character you really enjoyed. I mean, Ted Danson's there, so anybody my age was like, Ted Danson's in it. I'm gonna watch this. He's played a bartender. He's played a doctor. I watched both of those things. I'll watch him play a demon. And they had the little blonde woman who was on the. Why can't I remember her name?
Holly Hunter.
just gonna say
Are you talking about Mr. Mayor with Ted Denson?
Oh no,
Okay. Oh, you're talking about
Kristen Bell.
Kristen Bell on the Good
Kristen
Place.
Bell.
Yes.
Where
Right. Yes.
yeah, she's done the voiceover thing for I think it was like Gossip Girl or whatever the called name of that crazy show was.
Mm-hmm.
But she
Not
had
Gossip
her
Girl,
own
but
show
Veronica Mars.
forever.
Yeah. Yep. And I didn't know if she was going to go beyond that or what. It was just,
Oh yeah, like you're Veronica Mars.
that's how I
for the rest
was
of your
with
lives.
every person when they were on a show. I was like, so what happens next?
You're just going to be Veronica Mars for the rest of your life. And then when she did a bunch of other stuff. She's actually really good at what she's doing. And that was, hire good people, tell a unique new story. That's what The Good Place did. I think they did a really good, a lot of stuff that Apple's doing. Almost all that stuff is good. I can't think of anything that's bad. Can you think of one of them that's bad? It didn't work?
There was a few recent sci-fi shows and tragedy thrillers, but
Silo's interesting.
It was more, Silo's great. And Foundation, I totally recommend. There was this other show called Dark Matter where I was like, I got no interest, but
that didn't work.
And I like the original Sci-Fi Channel show called Dark Matter. So
me too. Oh yeah, I actually know what you're talking about.
Go.
They had their memories
I
wiped to start
interviewed the
with.
creator. It was a lot of fun, but there's an example of a guy who doesn't want to revisit that. Like that's past. So now that he adapted his own comic, he just wants to create his own thing again and do something else. So I think that's just it. Like Dan Harmon's been through the ringer so many times. He now knows what will or won't happen in his next writer's room. And I'm pretty sure by now, after the whole Rick and Morty issue, he is now at that point where he's like, okay, whenever I start anything, there's going to be a zero asshole tolerance.
Well, he's stopped working. He works like 6 hours a day. That's it. He's got a cap to keep him from going nuts. And so he's really regimented his life in that way. He had a health scare about 3 or 4 years ago because his diet, when your diet is largely alcohol, and fatty foods, it's not good for your body.
No.
And so he went through a health scare, and he's done a lot of, he bought a house just to remodel it.
So he is an artist in a way.
Yeah. Go find his Instagram where he's remodeling. He's referring to his neighbors, his friend's house. He goes, my friend's away, so I'm redoing his garage. It's Dan's garage, and he's doing this really nice. He's doing these really nice woodworking, like actual building rail systems, so he can get tools around inside of his garage easily. And he's and unique, and cameras are set up because he's doing part of it on Instagram. He finds that entertaining, but he spent about 2 years doing woodworking, and it was really good. I did not know he had it in him. He's like, you should just go back and write stuff, but you could build the desk you're doing it on. It looks amazing. But I had this one real elaborate workbench that rolled and had settings on it. It's almost all wood. I did not know he had that skill set, and he just seemed to really enjoy it. And it was healthy for him to, do that kind of stuff because
you have to.
Oh yeah.
Take apart anything that's driving you insane or that you are dedicated to that interests you. You have to keep the creative momentum instead of everything.
Yeah,
sucks.
and he was.
I don't know.
He's ridiculously talented, and particularly as a writer and understanding the voice of a show. I think he's really unique in that category, and I enjoy what he does. He hasn't done anything I've watched where I thought this was terrible. There's always something about it that's really smart or funny about it.
Absolutely.
And that's a plus.
Concur. Yeah. He is very careful with how he thinks about anything. And I think this is it. Him doing the podcast made people get to know him instead of who is this guy who was famous for a minute, and he didn't. I feel sorry for anyone who has been a good script writer, but they only had that one award-winning screenplay or one TV show, and they haven't done anything since. It's like, well, what have you been doing? You can't tell me every idea you've been doing has been getting rejected, right?
Yeah, and it probably isn't. It's just some of them just lose faith in it, and I think that's one of the really interesting things. Listen to writers talk about. The first thing you write, every time you write, it's always crap. You should accept it And as long as you accept it's bad, you got to get it on paper to improve it and go. So the real task, what makes it great is rewriting it.
Yes.
Yeah. Andy Bob Brown back. He's the writer of Mixology. And he did a thing, I want to say it was on Medium. I can't remember where he wrote it. And he wrote about taking a script. He said, because I can't write. Everything I write is shit. That's the word he used. Because everything I write is just crap, and I don't know what to do. And basically Dan says, yeah, everybody's the same way. Keep fixing it, and then we'll get there. And so what Andy did was he took his original draft for Mixology and shared it with the world on the internet, and he shared the final product. So you could see how the script evolved, and he talked about how it evolved and how he kept rewriting things to make it better and funnier and smarter and make it actually make sense. It was really great. You could compare a first draft of a script to the finished product, one of the more popular episodes of Community.
Yes.
And to show you how much it evolved. And I always thought that's one of the bravest things I've ever seen a writer do, because you're so there's so much your baby, the things you create, and to be willing to take it and show you the beginning where it's an ugly baby, and then show you the final, the pretty version with all of its fingers and toes and everything's working and everything about it just functions properly. That you basically made an adult version of it already. Yeah. So you've taken it from it's not fully formed to it's an actual whole thing. That was lovely.
Yes.
And I think ultimately a little brave. And you don't see that from most people. You don't see the rough draft.
Anybody. Just
yeah.
I think my issue with I got all the advice I needed from the professors, but then I was in as many good film classes as I was bad ones. So that's hard to gauge all that stuff, and then being told no, and then being told yes, and then having to remind yourself you still got to think for yourself. And I'm just like, hey, regardless of whether they like, I'm not worried about them liking it. I'm worried about, getting the grade and doing something I want to do. And unfortunately, you were always going to have that, well, I just did this just to get it done versus now I'm going to make the thing I actually want to make.
Yeah, no, it's especially for people that are creative. You said something about you're in a writing group or something. Is that right?
Yeah, me and my actor buddies, we do some screenwriting.
You got stuff you're working on and creating, and part of that is
we know it's good because we are still thinking about it 5 years later after all these interruptions and COVID. But at the same time, we're not acting like it's foolproof. We have done so much correcting and being like, man, did we actually write that? That's terrible. Go back.
Yeah.
Get that out of there. Rework it.
And being willing to say that about your own thing, what's the old thing? It's like first thing you do is you got to kill your baby, because sometimes your favorite thing is holding you back.
I kill my two favorite kids. Who wants that? But at the same time, yeah, if it's, I find that anything that's not working, save it. Use it in a different project down the road. It doesn't have to be in this part of the tell. It doesn't have to be part of the universe. It can be in a different universe you create later, as opposed to most people make the mistake of what gets deleted goes in the sequel. It's like, no. Just do a whole separate thing, because there's a reason you deleted it in the first place. It didn't work for this. Make it work in something else. Just don't. Yeah.
Well, you remember Phoebe Waller-Bridge does Fleabag, right?
She's a nice gal. She's awesome.
She's really good at writing things. When she talked about writing the Fleabag thing, what she did was she wrote jokes, just whatever jokes, and just put a bunch of them on the wall, and then wrote a story to fit them in. That's completely backwards. That's completely backwards. I love the working everybody else I've ever heard.
I talked with some other podcast pals to do some writing, and I like doing outlining. They don't like doing outlining, and that's not bad. It's just they like just kind of doing some raw stuff and then peppering all the layers after the fact. And it's like, okay, see, you ultimately did the same thing. It's just we're wording it differently, however your preference. Just
so whatever way gets it out
you want. Yeah. If you have to write the punchline before you write the build up, that is also amazing. Do it.
Yeah. Whatever works for you to get it out. And that's all I could think was whatever works for you to get it on paper and to make it into the thing. And the barrier is, You're the barrier from the thing being
the barrier. Done. Yes.
You're the real limitation.
Correct. Hey, kudos.
Yeah. And we talked about a lot of stuff. This is fun.
It was a delight. Hey, I was glad you could join in the fun, and to all a wonderful Greendale good night.
6 seasons in a movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
Follow us on the web on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. The podcast is available on Podbean, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor, Apple, and anywhere else podcasts are available. Feel free to review our show and leave comments on any of those sites. Thanks a million for listening. It's a